People often look at someone who's massively successful, an athlete at the top of their game, an entrepreneur who built empire, a person who transformed their health or relationships, and they say, whoa, they're lucky, they must have had a breakthrough moment. But here's the truth, my friend, that it's not one massive leap that creates greatness. It's the power of small, consistent wins. The ones that seem insignificant in the moment that compound over time and create unstoppable momentum. Let me tell you something powerful. Progress equals happiness. When you're making progress, even tiny progress, your brain starts associating that movement growth. And growth is what we're here for. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. See, every time you keep a promise to yourself, every workout you don't skip, every morning you journal instead of scrolling, every time you choose gratitude instead of complaint, you're training your nervous system to believe in you. You're stacking wins, and those wins like interest in a bank account. Think of this way, if you improve just 1% every day, you're not just 65% better in a year, you're 37 times better. That's the compounding power of discipline, of action, and consistency. Let me ask this and see. What's one area in your life where you've been waiting for a big break instead of building small momentum? Maybe it's your business, your health, your relationship. You've been telling yourself, when I get the right opportunity, I'll start. But the truth is, the opportunity comes after you start. Magic happens when you fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. When you celebrate the small win, waking up early, making that call, pushing one rep further, you're not just moving forward, you're rewiring your identity. You stop saying, I wish I was that kind of person, and you start being that kind of person. Progress creates happiness. It's one of the most powerful truths you can ever understand. So many people spend their lives chasing a big moment, the instant success, the major breakthrough that will finally make feel fulfilled. Fully believe happiness when they reach the goal, when they make the money, lose the weight, or find the relationship. But what if that's not how life really works? What if happiness isn't waiting at the finish line, but is actually built in the steps you take to get there? Every single time you make progress, no matter how small, your brain releases a surge of positive energy. It tells you, I'm growing, I'm moving forward, I'm alive. Yeah, feeling is one of the most satisfying emotions a human can experience, because deep down, growth equals happiness. It's in our nature to expand, to push our limits. When you're not growing, you're not truly living, you're just existing. That's why people can have everything: wealth, status, comfort, and still feel empty inside. They're still progressing, and without progress, no joy. Think about it. When you've been working hard towards something and finally notice even the smallest shift, maybe you lift a little more at the gym, you handle a stressful situation better, maybe you make the extra call for your business, you feel proud. That pride doesn't come from the results. It comes from knowing you're no longer stuck. You're moving. You're improving. And that progress, that forward momentum, builds an emotional energy. This is why celebrating small wins is so powerful. It reinforces to your mind and body that you're capable, that your efforts matter. Each time you acknowledge progress, you strengthen the habit of taking action, and your belief in yourself begins to grow. That belief becomes fuel, and suddenly, what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. You start living with purpose, not pressure. So if you want to feel happier, wait for the big win. Don't hold your joy hostage to a future goal. Find it in the small victories of today. Because when you focus on progress, you're already succeeding, you're already growing, and that growth, that steady, unstoppable move forward, is where true happiness begins. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Most people think success comes from massive bursts of effort, those high energy moments when you go all in for a day, a week, maybe even a month. But real transformation that happens in those bursts. It happens in the quiet, often unnoticed moments of consistency. When you show up, even when you don't feel like it. When you take small, steady steps forward again, that's when momentum begins to build, and that's when greatness is formed. Think about how nature works. A river doesn't part through rock because it's powerful all at once. It's because it's persistent, the same gentle flow over time. It creates deep canyons and unstoppable paths. Your life works exactly the same way. One workout won't change your body, but hundreds of them, stacked day after day, will. One day of discipline won't change your finances, but consistent effort to save, learn, and invest will create freedom. The difference between the people who achieve lasting success and those who burn out is not passion, it's pattern. Intensity can ignite you, but consistency sustains you. The excitement of a new goal feels amazing at first, but that energy fades. The gym gets tiring, the diet gets boring, the dream feels far away. Feeling with life. That's when most people stop. Motivation to return, but the successful ones, they understand that motivation's unreliable. They rely on discipline. They show up whether they feel like it or not. Because consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. When you commit to small actions done daily, those actions compound. One small win turns into another, and before it's another, you build habits that work for you even when your energy is low. Consistency trains your mind to push the excuses and focus on progress. It's like building a muscle. Every time you show up, you strengthen your ability to keep showing up. So stop waiting for the perfect mood or the perfect plan. Start with the perfect you only have, and do it again tomorrow and the next, because the truth is consistency turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Over time, small things you do consistently will completely transform your life, one steady step at a time. Small wins build identity. They reshape the way you see yourself and the story you tell about who you are. Every time you follow through on something you said you would do, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. You start to shift from, I hope I can, to I know I. That shift might seem subtle, but it changes everything. Because identity drives behavior, you will always act in alignment with you believe you are. Most people try to change their lives by focusing only on outcomes. Feeling I want to lose weight, I want to make more money, I want to be more confident. But outcome, if your eyes don't ask if your entity stays the same, you can't outperform the way you see yourself. If deep down you still believe you're someone who struggles, who gives up, who never finishes, you eventually return into that pattern. The real transformation begins when you start collecting small wins and using them as evidence that you're becoming someone new. When you wake up early once, you feel good. When you do it 10 days in a row, your brain starts to say, I'm the kind of person who keeps my promises. When you go to the gym, even on the days you're tired, your mind starts to recognize, I'm someone who follows through. Each of these moments strengthens your identity muscle. The more identity you stack, the stronger that identity becomes. This is why small wins matter so much, not because they're impressive on their own, but because they quietly reprogram how you see yourself. You're rewriting the narrative of your life through action, not intention. That's how confidence is built, not by talking yourself up, but by proving to yourself through repeated wins that you're capable, that unstoppable. Over time, those small wins don't just build momentum, they build belief. And belief is the foundation of identity. When your identity shifts, your behavior naturally follows. You stop fighting yourself because now your goals align with who you are and you believe you are. So start small, stay consistent, and remember, every small victory isn't just a step toward your goal. It's a vote for the person you're becoming. Momentum turns ordinary into extraordinary. It's the invisible force that transforms small, consistent actions and actions into massive results. At first feels slow, still in the effort, but you don't see much change. You wake up early, work hard, stay disciplined. Yet it seems like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, something powerful is building. Every small win, every decision to stay committed when it's easier to quit, adds a little more weight to your momentum. And once it starts rolling, it becomes almost unstoppable. Think of a train sitting still on the tracks. It takes a lot of energy just to get it moving those first few inches. Once it's rolling, it can crash through barriers that would have stopped at the beginning. That's how momentum works in life. In the beginning, you're pushing hard, building habits, creating structure, and it feels heavy, but over time, those small wins compound. The discipline that once felt like effort starts to feel like identity. The actions that used to drain you begin to fuel you. Momentum and just make progress easier. It transforms your sense of what's possible. When you start seeing results, your confidence grows. That confidence leads to more action, which creates even more results. It's a positive feedback loop, a cycle of growth that turns average effort into extraordinary achievement. And the beautiful thing You don't need to wait for motivation to build momentum. You create momentum by taking small, deliberate steps even when you don't feel like it. Every day you show up, even a little, you're adding to your momentum. Miss a day, and it doesn't finish as long as you return quickly. The key to is keep stacking wins, no matter how small, because motion creates emotion. When you're in motion, your energy rises, your focus sharpens, and your belief strengthens. Suddenly, things that once felt impossible become inevitable. Feeling momentum is what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers wait for the right conditions. Doers create movement and let momentum carry them forward. Keep stacking those small wins. Keep moving, keep believing. And soon you'll look back and realize the life you once dreamed of didn't come from one massive breakthrough. But from the unstoppable momentum, you build one small victory at a time.